Welcome to Echoes of the Past, where we explore the history of life on Earth and bring you the latest discoveries in paleontology. In today's video, we'll take a look at the most exciting fossil news from this week, from groundbreaking research to new prehistoric finds. If you love ancient life and want to stay updated, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. In the latest paleontology news, scientists have unveiled Sciurcolimulus discobolus, the first known Silurian horseshoe crab, from rocks in Indiana, USA, dating back about 424 million years. This tiny creature bridges a puzzling 80 million year gap in the horseshoe crab fossil record, offering a rare glimpse into the early anatomy of this famously ancient lineage. Unlike modern horseshoe crabs, Discobolus retains a multi-segmented post-abdomen, a semicircular carapace, and other primitive traits that suggest the evolutionary ground plan of Ziphosaurans was more complex than previously thought. That he not only fills a major gap in horseshoe crab evolution, but also shows that the basic body plan of these living fossils had deep roots, persisting through mass extinctions and environmental upheavals. In Germany's Inspel fossil site, researchers have unearthed an extraordinary record showing that bumblebees were already pollinating linden, Tilia, flowers about 24 million years ago during the late Oligocene. By examining fossil flowers with pollen still in situ and matching it to pollen found on the bodies of fossil bees, the team provided direct evidence of an ancient plant-pollinator relationship. They described newly discovered species, including Tilia magnicepala and two new bumblebee species, and showed that these bees carried mostly pure linden pollen on their legs or body hairs, indicating they were faithful visitors to these flowers. This discovery is significant because fossil evidence of insect-plant mutualism is extremely rare. It gives us real insight into how long these crucial ecological interactions have persisted, and underscores how ancient bees already played a key role in maintaining forest ecosystems by pollinating trees, a behavior that continues to this day. In Montana's Blackleaf Formation, paleontologists have unearthed a remarkable new crocodiliform species dubbed Thecarissicus cynidennis, based on a juvenile specimen nicknamed Elton that lived around 95 million years ago. Unlike most of its crocodiliform relatives, which had simple, conical teeth and a semi-aquatic lifestyle, Cynidennis displays heterodont dentition, that is, multiple tooth shapes specialized for different functions, suggesting it had a varied diet of insects, small animals, and possibly plant matter. Moreover, this tiny crocodile relative was terrestrial, living on land, and may have even dug or lived in burrows, based on how densely the bones were preserved. The discovery fills a gap in our understanding of crocodiliform evolution, indicating that some lineages experimented with novel body plans and diets far removed from the classic river predator model, and it reveals how diverse and adaptable these ancient reptiles really were. In central Patagonia, Argentina, scientists have described a new species of megaraptoran dinosaur named Joaquinraptor casali, known from one of the most complete skeletons yet found for this group. Living in the late Cretaceous, probably in the Maastrichtian stage, 72 to 66 million years ago, this predator measured around 7 meters in length and belonged to a clade famous for its powerfully built forelimbs with large claws and elongated skulls. Remarkably, a humerus of a crocodiliform was found pressed against the dinosaur's jaw, suggesting that Joaquinraptor may have been feeding on or scavenging crocodile relatives, a vivid snapshot of predator-prey dynamics in ancient ecosystems. Because Joaquinraptor comes from near the top of the Lago Calyahuapi Formation and shows a mix of primitive and derived traits, it helps bridge gaps in our understanding of how megaraptorans evolved, how they fit into their ecosystems, and how some of their unusual anatomical features, like their strong arms and pneumatized bones, were used in life. In the late Triassic freshwater deposits of the Blue Mesa member in Arizona's Petrified Forest National Park, dating 237 million years ago, paleontologists have identified a surprisingly diverse group of long-necked reptiles called Tanistrophiids, including a brand new genus and species named Acidostropheus oligos. These animals are part of the archosauromorph reptiles, a broad group that includes ancestors of crocodiles and dinosaurs, and they display a wide range of neck lengths and vertebra anatomies. Most of the bones were found in non-marine, river or lake, freshwater settings, far from ocean influence, which is interesting because many tenistrophiids are known from marine or coastal deposits. The discovery of at least 3 distinct tanistrophiid taxa in this single site reveals that these reptiles were more ecologically and geographically varied than previously known, adapting to different niches in continental freshwater ecosystems during Triassic Pangea. A new study examining molar proportions and brain volumes suggests that Homo floresiensis and its close relative Homo luzonensis evolved their extremely small body sizes not by starting small in the womb, but by slowing growth after birth during childhood. The researchers found that the wisdom teeth, third molars, in these hobbit humans are disproportionately small relative to other molars, an unexpected pattern because throughout hominin evolution, smaller third molars typically accompany larger brains. This discrepancy implies that Homo floresiensis may have developed normally in utero, but then reduced its postnatal growth pace, resulting in its dwarf stature as an adult. This finding supports the idea of insular dwarfism or insular nanaism, where limited resources and ecological pressures on islands favor smaller body size. Overall, the research offers fresh insight into how these tiny hominins became so small, shedding light on their developmental biology and how island environments can reshape the trajectory of human evolution. In a groundbreaking study published in Science, researchers digitally reconstructed a heavily distorted fossil skull known as Yunxian 2, originally found in Hubei, China, and now placed at between 940,000 years and 1.1 million years old. The virtual reconstruction shows that the skull may belong to the Homo longa lineage, closely related to the Denisovans, challenging the older classification as Homo erectus. What makes this discovery so astonishing is that it suggests the divergence of human lineages, those leading to modern humans, Neanderthals, and Denisovans, may have occurred hundreds of thousands of years earlier than previously thought. The skull has a mix of traits, some features reminiscent of Homo erectus, but also others more similar to Homo longi and even Homo sapiens, particularly in cranial capacity and facial structure. Because fossils from this middle period are rare and often ambiguous, Yunxian may second help resolve the so-called muddle in the middle in human evolution. However, the findings are provocative and subject to debate as some experts caution that morphology, shape, alone can be misleading in tracing evolutionary relationships, especially without DNA evidence. Let's move now to Brazil, where paleontologists have uncovered a darker side of dinosaur life: disease. In the Bauru group, about 80 million years old, researchers found sauropod fossils riddled with signs of osteomyelitis, a deadly bone infection. The lesions cut deep from the marrow to the bone surface, leaving a porous, spongy texture. And here's the striking part: there are no signs of healing, meaning these dinosaurs died while the disease was still raging. Unlike cancer, which often shows irregular growth, this infection spread rapidly and fatally. Because several individuals from the same region show the same pathology, scientists think local environmental conditions, maybe stagnant water or even insect vectors, help the disease spread. It's a sobering reminder that dinosaurs, like animals today, weren't just battling predators and climate. They also faced microscopic killers that could devastate populations. Now let's dive into the Jurassic seas of Germany, where paleontologists have identified a brand new species of ichthyosaur, Uranosaurus mistelgauensis. This marine reptile comes from the famous Mistelgau clay pit, a site that dates back about 180 million years. Like its relatives, it had an extraordinary swordfish-like snout, with the upper jaw dramatically longer than the lower one, probably used to slash through schools of fish. But what makes this species stand out are its unusually robust ribs, much thicker and heavier than those of other uranosaurs. That detail might sound small, but it tells us a lot. Thicker ribs could mean differences in buoyancy, lung protection, or even swimming style compared to its sleeker cousins. It's a reminder that even within a single group of ichthyosaurs, evolution was experimenting with different body plans to thrive in the oceans of the early Jurassic. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the latest and most exciting discoveries in paleontology. If you enjoyed exploring these incredible fossils and prehistoric creatures, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our weekly updates. And don't forget to click the bell icon. That way you'll be the first to know when new videos drop, bringing the ancient past straight to your screen. Stay curious, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode of Paleo Weekly.